Is that person drawing similarly to you? Kill them.
Now, where's Craig when you turn into like a dub stuff?
Kids don't understand that.
Jason!
Sorry.
Kids don't understand that.
Jason!
Wow, this is political propaganda.
Turn into like a dub stuff.
Jason!
Watching my exciting loading bar.
If you can't play well, play loud.
Turn into like a dub stuff.
I still know how to do it.
Kids don't understand that.
Jason! Is that person drawing better than you?
Turn into like a dub stuff.
Apologies to everyone watching. Jason!
Kids don't understand that.
Apologies to everyone watching.
Wow, this is political propaganda.
Drop the bomb.
Kids don't understand that. Welcome again, everybody. Wednesday live stream. We got some special guests here today.
Very special.
Special, Zach's the special guest. All right. Well, we got Justin actually.
Hello.
Say hello, Justin.
Hello.
So Justin is he launched the Indiegogo campaign. I don't know if you have it to pull it up, Justin.
Yes. If you want me to share my screen.
Yeah, that'd be great. So the reason I brought Justin on, not the only reason, but he actually asked me to draw one of his alternative covers. So I drew an alternative cover for his book, which I think is really a cool idea, a cool concept. We'll have him talk about it a little bit in a second. I hear myself echoing.
Oh, oops.
Is that happening to
I
you?
think that might be because of me.
Let's see. Let me get my headphones out. My big, bulky headphones.
Make sure you don't have another window open that has the stream playing. I can say that from experience.
Yeah, I just have my Indiegogo. That's it.
Yeah, I got it open on YouTube, but it's muted on YouTube. I think. Yes, there it is.
I'm going to try to put headphones on, so give me a second.
Huh, it's only happening when... Oh, no, it's me too. It doesn't happen when Jessica talks, but it happens when I talk, when Jason talks, and...
Does it happen when I talk? No. Maybe.
No, it doesn't happen when you talk.
I don't hear anyone.
What about you, Eben?
I hear you echoing, but I don't hear anybody else echoing.
Okay, so it's me and Jason.
Does it echo now
No,
for me?
No.
it's gone.
Okay, I have headphones now.
Huh.
It must have been me.
It was Jason.
Curses. Okay.
Live shows. Gotta love them.
Oh, it's so true. Never dull moment.
We just need some more glitches.
But those are the famous
Theme song.
the dubstep headphones.
So on can
Okay.
everyone see my screen?
Now we can.
All right, cool. On Indiegogo, I have a campaign called Unstitch, Part 1 of 2. Protect the light, protect the child, and fend off the darkness. If you want, can I play the video? There's nothing copywritten on it.
No, just tell us about it.
Yeah, cool. So this
Do the elevator
is
pitch.
yeah. The elevator pitch is fear takes form in the darkness, and tries to use fear to destroy childhood wonderment, which is built on hopes and dreams. So it's up to a Teddy to protect the nightlight, defending off the darkness, and his minions to protect a little girl's dreams.
Aww.
An actual teddy bear. And that's why it's called Unstitched, right? The darkness
Yes.
comes and tries to unstitch the teddy bears.
Yes.
That's
Get
cool.
him, teddy bear.
That's right.
And in fact, in my world, Teddy is actually a title that stands for Terrifically Effective Dreaming Defender. Yeah.
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 It's awesome. Yeah.
You know, it's a blend on like very silly moments and a little bit of heavy moments. Like I grew up on like Don Bluth films like All Dogs Go to Heaven, Secret of Nymph,
Yeah.
Brave Little Toaster, things like that. So I kind of when I wanted to do my own children's story, I wanted a little bit of that grit and darkness or whatever, which is why it's called Unstitched. In fact, I have some pretty cool tiers, like the Dreamer tier, which is $55. Gets you both covers, a poster, and a mini print. And before I go over the other tiers, I just kind of want to show off some of the art from my wonderful artist, Laura Rimabatsi. Like, here's the first 6 pages. She has a wonderful style.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually want to talk to Jason about his cover because I want to ask him questions after. You just see the first 3 pages. The poster read a bedtime story. Parents get called to the room because baby's crying, and darkness kind of comes in and scares Illinois. And in fact, Illinois is named and designed after my niece, who the story is kind of dedicated to.
I really like the look of those. Those are cool.
Yeah.
And then we have Dreamland, where our hero and another Teddy's in training, and they're just going against some pillow creatures, which are bed bugs. And you got the Dream King, who's very much like our Sandman and head honcho. These are the first 6 pages, and we'll actually have 44 out of 48 pages currently done, minus lettering. We even had a 48-hour backer raffle that's expired, and it was a foil print based off the cover that Jason did. And
What?
Jason, you did an amazing cover.
Oh, thanks, man.
Man, I only share it with you concept art, the pitch, and I think I then shared maybe 12, maybe 20 pages,
Mhm.
and you just kind of did your own thing. And
Yeah, well, the concept is really neat, and so my imagination just kind of ran wild with it. So really good concept and ideas and weird little characters. So it was really fun for me to, I'm real hesitant to do art for other people, but when you showed me what you were working on, I was like, oh yeah, I get it. I can get it.
Yeah, because I gave you no direction. You just went, all right, cool, got it. And then you were like, I like the coloring, but I don't like the coloring. Give me another few days. And then you came back with this bright red, and it captures the eye. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even notice the mic or the monster in the closet at behind Eleanor's elbow the first time I saw this. Took me 3 more days to go, oh.
Cool.
Which, I just love comic covers that kind of, they captivate and they feel like they tell a story upon themselves.
Yeah.
I'm
glad you like it. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, and I got some cool tiers. The feature tier gets you both covers. Jason, Lars, a poster, mini print. We have the poster done by my friend Caleb from college. And in fact, this art will also be the back cover of the comic. You have Laura cover, who is also the interior artist. Fantastic artist. We're doing the last 4 pages, and then we're going to start doing part 2, which is the conclusion of this story. Jason's cover. We have a retail bundle with buyback. So if anyone knows any comic shops that are open, it gets you 3 covers of Jason's, 3 covers of Lars, and 6 mini prints. This will be bag and board, and I'm offering buyback for the retailers. So if they can't sell the comics, it's essentially for returnability. I'll buy them. So there's not only is it offered in discounted price, there's essentially no risk for a shop.
Great. That's a nice offer.
I even have a children's bundle, which is 6 of Laura's cover, and the children's hospital bundle. The books will be donated, And if I accidentally make any profit, the profit will also be donated to the hospitals as well, to like St. Jude's, Ronald McDonald's, and things of that nature.
Right on.
That's
And
cool.
then I have our last tier, which is the Big Dreamer tier. And it's limited to 10, and there's only 7 left of this. It's everything in the Dreamer tier. So both covers of the book, poster, mini print, and I have a 12-inch teddy bear of the Boogeyman whose eyes glow in the dark.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool, man. Well, if you want to post links, it disappeared.
Oops. Yeah. I only did it because I wanted to show you live what the teddy bear looks like.
Oh, let me show you your screen. There you go. Oh yeah.
And in fact, like it's not unstitched or anything, but because like the Boogeyman is kind of like the Darth Vader for the darkness, he's the enforcer role. He unstitches teddy bears. So this is actually sewn on. It's not messed up. 'Cause I've had some people go, I feel like it's not done. No, it's meant to look like that. These are like mini teddy bears that he's unstitched, and he even has little claws. But yeah, the eyes glow in the dark. We have 7 more available.
Like
That's
Ugly
awesome.
Doll meets Build-A-Bear.
Yes.
That's awesome, man.
Wow.
Well, good. I think it's looking like a solid campaign. It looks like you're on your way to hitting the goal too. So
Yeah.
that's pretty exciting.
Awesome.
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
Thank you.
Really cool and unique concept as well.
I have to admit, I did back it, and I bought my own cover. I'm sorry. I feel guilty. I feel guilty. But yeah, Very
So
cool.
you paid yourself?
I paid myself a little bit.
No, that's really cool. Wow.
Thank you. I'm just gonna post the link in the chat. If
Yeah,
that's okay.
if you have to put it in the private one, I can just switch it over to the public one.
Okay. I'm gonna put it in private because people might see it more with you or one of your interests.
Sounds good. Let me jump into the comments real quick, see if there's any questions. All right. We got Tobias, a member, my favorite show. Woo! We have a question from Richard Smith. When will you know about the Eisner? I think it's next month sometime that they will announce it.
Yeah, it's around. It's actually announced at San Diego Comic-Con this year. Of course, is virtual Comic-Con, but it'll be part of that.
So
show.
it'll be a virtual show then?
Yeah, so actually anyone that doesn't know that might be interested in this. So, normally San Diego Comic-Con is the biggest Comic-Con in the US. It's a crazy zoo of insanity. But this year, because of the pandemic, they are making it all virtual. So it's free to everyone. If you go and visit the San Diego Comic-Con website, there's more information about it, but it's essentially a all access virtual event for anyone and everyone. So they're doing a bunch of panels, a bunch of streaming, and trying to make it as interesting and rich as they can in a virtual setting. But the cool thing about it is it's open to everyone around the world for free.
That's great. Wow. So it's like it's mainly just panels and stuff. I mean, obviously you can't
Yeah,
buy
you
anything probably.
booths and stuff like that, but they're just trying to make it a fan event, which I think is pretty cool.
Great. I like that.
Could we wear a virtual reality headset and walk around?
That's the next step.
Yeah, right.
Wear your haptic feedback gloves to shake the virtual celebrity's hands while you're.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch his hand.
Yeah, I posted the link to Unstitched in the show comments, so everyone check it out. Yeah, so cool. So you just have to register ahead of time to do the whatever it's called, San Diego thing, the Comic-Con. You can tell I'm really interested. No.
Yes, I think the website is comiccon.org for anyone that's interested.
And you got to register beforehand in order to watch all the panels and stuff, right?
Yeah, they have. I don't think they've released all of the how is it going to work yet. They're probably still figuring some of it out, but that's at some point in mid to late July is that, and then that's where they'll announce the Eisners as well. They may also there was some snafu with the voting, so they may open that back up at some point. In which case, we'll let people know. But
really?
But they had some sort of glitch in the system, so they suspended voting. It was at the last day, but the last day got truncated.
Weird.
Not sure if they'll open it back up for a minute or not.
Okay. Very interesting. Well, I'm curious. I mean, I have what, 1 in 6 chance of winning now, I guess.
Exactly.
I'm not going to depend on it, but that was some sweet icing on the cake.
Indeed.
Yeah. What you working on, Zach?
More Golma.
More Golma.
Golma.
Cool. Are you hitting your deadlines? Are your artists?
Yeah, no, I'm actually ahead because we haven't been streaming.
I'll take the blame. It's okay.
Yeah. Oh, and it was so. I was just so. Anyways, no, last week, right? You ended, and then literally like 2 minutes later, my wife walked in, and I was like, "What the heck do you have?" Because she has this little pouch, and there's something alive inside of it, and it's a hedgehog. And now I'm a proud owner of a hedgehog.
Did you name it Sonic?
No, I did not. Everybody says that. Everybody's like, "Did you name it Sonic?" I'm like, "No."
They're really, really cute.
They're adorable. They are sweet. I would go get him, but he's asleep because they sleep. He's a baby. He's like 4 months old. So he's tiny and he's super cute.
That is cool.
And he thinks I'm food. Whenever he comes near me, he'll start sniffing and nibbling, which is them trying to eat you. And he doesn't do it to my daughter or my wife. He just does it to me.
Aw, adorably menacing.
Yep. So yeah, that's and I was like, oh man, because you ended the stream and then she comes in with this beautiful little thing, and I was like, I'm gonna have to wait a week to talk about this.
Recreate the moment.
Yep.
Dude, if someone walked in through my door and presented me with a hedgehog, my month would be exponentially better.
Yeah, no. It's been giving me a reason to get away from my computer. Not that my daughter doesn't.
Kids, yeah. Hedgehog, yeah.
Hedgehog.
Fuzzy, welcome.
Hello.
Hey, it's
See you
Fuzzy.
down there.
Missed the hedgehog story.
Yeah.
It's
Maybe
been
you
so
heard it.
long. I heard part of it.
I have a hedgehog.
What'd you name it?
Akko, which is Bulgarian for poop.
For what?
For Bulgarian for poop.
Oh.
There's a tradition in my household that our pets are always named poop in a different language.
Ah.
So we had a cat and its name was Kokoti, which I think is like Lithuanian for poop. And we had another one that was like some weird one, but I don't remember because we didn't have it that long. It was a little dog. But yeah.
What a dream.
What a dream.
Fantastic.
That's awesome.
It has felt like a while. That was, I guess, 2 weeks ago for me. Been forever, and I'm still on the same page. Yes.
Yeah.
Not because I've been working on it for 2 weeks. It's actually took a 2-week break.
Yeah.
A moving day.
Yeah, I know you guys know, but maybe the public doesn't know. But I'm moving Saturday into a new studio space. So
Ooh.
I am excited. Can't wait. So I've been here for 5 years, and it's like everywhere I look now, I'm like, this is dusty and old and junky, and why am I still here?
So instead of cleaning, he just moves.
Goals.
This
I'm
place.
a crab move like, no, I'm not gonna clean. I'm just gonna find a new shell.
Mhm.
I love it.
So I'm excited. Can't wait to show it off a little bit.
It's yeah, that's fun moving into new spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Exciting.
Are you trying to convince yourself?
Me?
Yeah.
Heck no, we move enough already.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Although, I mean, admittedly, it is kind of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, as hard as it is to move, it's also exciting to be like, we could put this thing here, and this thing here, and this could be Mars.
Mm. Yeah.
So, it is kind of fun.
I don't like the feng shui.
The
My
fun,
wife will come.
what?
Feng shui, you know,
Yeah.
like you change how the room will look or whatever to fit your mood or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, everything here, I know where it is, and that's the way it should be. And then my wife will come and she'll mess things up, and then I'll lose everything. I'll literally like stop for like a month to figure out where everything is before I can get back into the groove of things.
That was like growing up. My dad would reorganize the kitchen every month or so.
What?
Every month.
I was a kid, so maybe my memory's kind of like, you know, exacerbating it. Like it wasn't that bad, but gosh darn, I just remember I'd walk in there every month or so, every couple months or so, and just be like, "Where are the bowls?"
I've never
And
heard
my
of people
dad-
doing that to the kitchen though. That's an interesting place to have to rearrange.
Oh, it's a life ruiner. It's not okay.
Dad.
Hey, welcome, friends. The cups are somewhere.
Yeah. We don't know. Let's
Your
play
guess is as good as mine.
them.
Make yourself at home. I don't know where anything is.
I just listened. All right. Okay. Man, I have to remember what it's like to draw again. How do I do this? How do I
How do I
drive?
Anyway,
Ah,
now I got to put it on your screen, Jessica.
oh, great. I'm just trying to. Great. Here's my cheat layer.
That's a nice sketch of a hand, though. I like that.
This sketch.
Sketch underneath it. That looks
Oh.
good.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out which hand I like better. Trying to get my art brain back on. Inviting it, pleading with it. Let's do this.
We got Fuzzy's screen. What you doing, Fuzzy?
Flats.
Flat.
Ooh.
Is this the last episode?
No, second to last. I'm gonna have to kind of die in the next week to get this done, but I will do it.
You can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, yeah. I guess the end of June is coming.
The end is coming. The end is near.
Yeah. That's the end of the contest, huh?
Yeah, it's so what? A week from now, roughly, is going to be the actual end of the submission process, and then they'll announce the winner on July 30th, I think. Is it June? I don't know anything.
It is still June.
Mm.
Last time I checked.
Good.
But not for long.
Really, months are just shooting by.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
They kept telling me that, but like time's going to go faster when you get older. I didn't believe them.
That's true. Everything's pretty relative. Especially when you're a kid. Seems like things take forever.
Especially when you had something you really wanted to do,
Hmm.
or you had something like Christmas was the worst. You get to the month of December and just felt like it lasted forever. Just Christmas.
That's what I do. I'd run around the house going, "Gah, Christmas!"
That's why you got coal.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I forgot to go back into the comments and finish looking through them. Okay. I did see a question somewhere. Ben Bernard Smith says, I've just popped in to say hi and I'm barbecuing with family. Sad this is the last stream for a while, but glad we have so many over the months. Thank you, Jason and company. You're welcome.
Thank you.
And
Sure.
just so everybody knows, some of the old streams have been disappearing. It's not YouTube's fault. It's just I'm cleaning up my channel. I'm still making them available for members, and I'll probably have them, our archives of them for patrons and all that kind of stuff. So, but they're still there. They're just moved around. And then where's Fuzzy? He's right there. Right on screen. Let's see.
I think this is Jason's channel. It's actually the Fuzzy Show.
That's right.
That's what I do. I come in and I take over.
That's right. And again, you guys can get Unstitched on Indiegogo right now. I did a special cover for it. One of the covers. Check it out.
Amazing cover, which I super lucky because I honestly, you were like my top 3 of these are my dream people to do a variant cover with, but I don't know if I'll actually get them. And I was very surprised and very fortunate that you emailed back.
Yeah, Will's right time too.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's just I don't get back to emails at all because there's too many things. Came at the right time though. Let's see. Any other comments? I don't see anything. Okay. Well, if you guys do have questions in the comments, feel free to type a question in all caps. We'll try to throw it into the discussion. If you want to comment at anyone specific, just write it at them, and we'll try to get to it. Hopefully. Sometimes we don't notice.
Jason, you've been working on cognitive drawing, but have you done anything on Phobos?
The last 2 streams is what you've seen me do on Phobos. I'm trying to get a handful of pages fine-tuned, like just finished, and get the last text in there and tweak some of the shadows and whatever so that I can update patrons with it before the weekends, because once I move, it'll be just kind of chaotic for a little while.
I know how that is.
It's a handful. It's quite a few pages too, so I'm pretty excited to share them. It's just they're not, there's a couple in the middle that aren't finished, so that's what I'm hoping to finish right now.
And will you be crowdfunding that?
Yeah, I don't know the exact plan. I'm thinking it'll be after. I know it'll be after the cognitive drawing books are shipped out, so that no one can say, "Hey, you didn't fulfill your last campaign first." And so it'll probably be. I mean, based on the time schedule that I think cognitive drawing is going to ship, it'll probably be like July or August before I start really trying to launch that. So probably August. maybe September. You know, once we get to September, it's like close to October, and that would be a great month for a horror comedy comic. You know,
Then do it in October.
yeah. I just don't know if I can wait that long. Like, I'm gonna. I was really relying on, you know, I make my living pretty much off of these Kickstarters. So the cognitive drawing money pays for cognitive drawing, but it's given me, you know, so many months of bills and living expense. And so I was planning on having the Phobos one launch quite a bit before that money ran out. And so we'll just see. I just need to look at the budget, you know, and see how badly I need to launch, how soon, and if you know, it's weird. It's weird living that way, because then you're like, well, I might. If this doesn't work, what's Plan B? You know, what's Plan C? If Phobos doesn't bring in any money,
Portraiture art.
Portraiture. Yeah, go sit down on the street and do caricatures of people.
There you go.
So, anyway, we'll see what happens.
It's some good practice, if nothing else. You know?
Mm.
It's true. I never enjoyed doing caricatures.
Well, it
That
doesn't
was,
have to be caricatures, right? I guess
yeah,
that draws people in more than other stuff. But
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Haven't drawn for like 2 weeks and decided that the first thing I do is a hand. Why? Why am I doing that? One of the harder.
how much? That's a good question. How much do you guys do in terms of warm ups?
None.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I need it when I find that what I'm doing is not what I should be doing. So then I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to go figure this out. So I'm actually drawing on paper right now because I think better on paper than I do drawing on a screen.
I've noticed that I do a better job when I do warm ups, but I never seem to do them. And I've been thinking lately I need to like start my day with, I don't know, like 30 minutes or something. Just something. I don't know.
I just count that first 30 minutes as you know, getting something done on the project that needs to get done.
But there's like a freedom in knowing that it's nothing, right?
No, it's a pain. It's like pulling a tooth for me to draw things that don't matter. That's how it is for me.
Really?
I don't want to draw things if it's not going to be go towards this goal I have. Everything seems like a waste of time otherwise. So for me personally, you know, I know there's a lot of artists that just like sketching and stuff. I don't get anything out of sketching.
Did you used to?
Well, you know, I had to come up with ideas somehow. So yeah, I would. It seems like everything I did as a kid was a story-based idea. Like even if it was a stick figure story, I have all these little stapled together stories that are stick figures, and my mom would write the words in. You know, tell her what to say. And so, but anytime I was like, let's do a painting. It's like, do I have to? Let's draw this picture of grandma. I don't want to draw grandma.
Isn't that how you get like? That's practice. That's what practice is, right? Or you just practice by doing, right?
Storytelling is practice for me. Like I've told a million stories by now. You know, if I look at all the old, really bad ones, there's. But you know, yeah, every story you tell, if it's all made out of pictures, you have to end up practicing those pictures. So it's just part of the thing.
That's man, I gotta say the amount of like completely opposing things that you talk about when you're talking about how you work. Like I spent like an entire year just drawing hands.
Yeah.
You know,
I can't say I haven't done that. I studied anatomy a lot when I was in junior high and high school to really try to just refine it, you know. So there is a place for that, but once I started getting work, it's like there's enough work to do that takes up more than a full day, and so and you practice as you're doing that work. It's just on the job training. So, I got hired at like 20 to start doing storyboards, and I need to draw Buicks one day and a Taco Bell commercial the next. Well, I'm not going to do warm-ups for that. I'm just going to get a Buick and draw it. So anyway, it's just, I think it's just because at a young age, I just was thrown into the production schedule. And it's like, get the work done quick.
Mm-hmm.
Producers breathing down my neck. Why are you so slow and young?
How dare you?
Don't look at me that way. So,
You
true
know,
story.
that's interesting though when you're talking about not practicing every day, but being able to get it through what you're doing. Because I've definitely noticed a shift in the last 4 years where at least when I'm on a project, when I'm actively working on something like this graphic novel, I don't do a lot of drawing on the side because I am doing that already. And it's kind of like that's where my creative energy is flowing into. And before, I think I would draw to amuse myself. And I do that every now and then. But first and foremost, it just seems that if I try and sit and just draw for fun, I'm like, oh, this energy could be going into getting my graphic novel done even like a step further. But I have actually started practicing a little bit more just to try and hone the areas that I am a little weaker in or I don't have that much experience. But at the end of the day, I've done a lot of stuff with hands for many, many years, and I might need a refresher or I might need to kind of brush back up. But it's also like riding a bicycle. It does come back pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I don't have to like relearn it every single time.
Well, I think to me, there's two different components to this. There's kind of foundational skills,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's, what are you doing to hone and continue your craft? And I think,
Mm-hmm.
The foundational skills piece is important. And, I think when I, the handful of times that I've, kind of taught people or done classes with people on how to draw, it's like, I'm actually like a huge proponent of like, you just take the thing like you're talking about that you feel weak in and just do it. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people struggle with drawing hands. So go draw 100 hands, like just
Mhm.
draw hands and draw hands and draw hands and draw hands until you have an understanding of hands.
Mhm.
But then I think, I fall into Jason's camp past that point where I've learned so much more by doing real work than, continuing to practice stuff.
Mhm.
And it's like most of the skill sets that I personally have accumulated over the years have been, it's like, oh, like we have a project to do something in After Effects. I've never used After Effects. Let's figure out how to do it. And finding your way through that process, like with a real project, with a real deadline, with a real level of accountability, like forces the creativity in a way that just doing something quote unquote for fun doesn't necessarily.
Mhm.
I guess I don't see it as fun though. Like, not that I'm being tortured, but like, it's not. The goal is not to have fun. The goal is to, I'm not warmed up. I'm not good enough yet. I need to do that, or I'm definitely not good at this thing, and I want to get better.
Sure.
Mhm.
But the
And
warming up specifically was more like,
Yeah.
more what I was talking about, I guess.
That's true.
Mhm.
That is different from just drawing for leisure.
Yeah. Or practicing. I try not to. My reason is kind of different. Is this: if I'm in a big project like right now, I purposefully I try not to do a lot of drawing outside of it, is because when I do, I figure out new techniques and things, and all of a sudden, if I'm drawing a comic, all of a sudden you'll see the shift. You'll see like I'll be drawing like 50 pages, and all of a sudden, like it changes, the style changes,
Yeah.
because I decided I was going to go and do some, like go and be like, oh, I'm going to draw like this for a little bit just for fun or to try this out. And then also when I come back to the project, I'm not consistent. So,
Yeah.
so I purposefully try not to do any of that stuff until I have the project done, and then I'm in between projects, and then I can feel like I can experiment, because because or else I'm gonna mess everything up.
That's
Let me cut you off real quick. There's another special guest in the back. I'd love to let him in and get to know him. Would any one of you mind dropping out for?
I can drop out. It's been fun.
Well, thanks, Justin, for hanging out. Everyone, go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I much appreciate it.
Unstitched looks awesome, dude.
It really does.
Thank you. And I hope when you back it and read it, you'll think it's extremely awesome and get the second half of the story.
Yeah, I know.
Have a great one.
All right, see you, Justin.
Thank you.
Let's see. Welcome, iDrop. Is that your name?
Hey. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's my AC just went on.
It's like-
My handle, I guess I go by it, but my name is Jorge. Nickname is Milo. You can call me either.
All right.
First of all, I just want to say apologies for being late at the party. I finally got home, and I feel mortified that someone had to leave for me to be able to come. Like the worst part of it.
This is my last stream for a while, so I'm trying to get everyone to. I appreciate you coming on. If you got a screen to share, we're more than happy to cycle through your screen with ours.
Damn, man. No, I'm working mostly on my iPad. I can look at everyone and show it to you, but I'm more than happy to just look at what you guys are working on right now.
Well, tell us about yourself. What do you do?
Mm.
What you working on, and where can we find it?
Where can you find it? Well, I'm currently, I've been working on it, just illustrations and comics here and there for a little while. I put together like a mini comic a couple of years ago. It's more like for like a kiddie audience kind of. It's called Jesus Apollo. It's about this little kid who wants to be a dancer, but he has 2 left feet. And since then, I've just started focusing on comics more. I guess I like the illustration part of it, but I wanted to create more with it. Like I wanted to create more stories with it. I have a background in both film and fiction writing, so just having one standalone image kind of didn't seem like enough.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, I started working on something else. It's this. I like it. It's I don't know if anyone is familiar with manga, but it's kind of like a shonen comic. It has like elements of folklore.
What style of shonen?
Magic. It's not really manga. This is kind of what it looks like. Here, I'll show you a little bit.
Here, let me get you on full screen.
Oh, fine.
Yeah,
Oh, dope.
that is cool, man.
Is this? No, sorry.
If you want, I've also got the pages that you sent me. If you want if you want me to pop them up for a second.
Sure, yeah, that'd be sweet to be able to look through it on yours while he's talking.
But yeah, it's it's not full on shonen. It's let's call it shonen inspired. Because it deals with a lot of elements called Beasts of Jangala. It's about a group of let's call them street kids living in this post-apocalyptic rainforest world, kind of. And it's ruled by gangs. There's a lot of like underground fighting, but there's also a side where it's like the whole rainforest that overtook over the entire civilization, where there's like magic, there's like magical creatures, there's shamans. So it's a combination of both of these worlds and the clashing of both of these worlds. Yeah, that's an extremely old. I've been ever since I sent you that. I've updated it significantly, but
I'm sure you have. So yeah. We met at LA Comic Con, and I really loved what I saw from his other projects, and so we started talking about doing something for Macroverse, and so this is the kind of rough sneak preview of the beginning of what it's starting to look like for the app.
That's cool. I
love the art style. I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's more fun.
Are you doing the coloring and the inking as well? You're doing like all the art?
Yeah, I'm developing, basically developing from scratch to finish. It's actually started making them as like a small whatever.
Oh, it's good. Sorry, I was reacting to the colors.
Oh,
Yeah, no, the color's great. Yeah.
I started as an anthology kind of. It was just gonna be like a few panels for like mini stories with no dialogue. But since I spoke to Evan at LA Comic Con, I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna make more of these, I kind of wanted to flesh them out more. And like 6 panels turned into 20, and then 20 turned into like 30, and then it just started growing.
Yeah.
It's been fun though. I've been loving the process and kind of just getting lost in it. And I was hearing someone say before I jumped in how like when you're focusing on one project, you kind of don't want to do, or you try to avoid doing unrelated images or unrelated illustrations or projects because if you don't want to pull you out of in the style or the story. And I've been finding myself in the same spot. All I've been working on is this, and it's been pretty awesome actually. Just to get into a flow of sorts.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
The first sneak peek, but yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool stuff.
When would you say this is going to be coming out, Evan?
We're still finalizing it, but I think you tell me, Jorge. But it looks like sometime within the next couple of months.
Yeah, I basically have both episodes 1 and 2 ready to go on the art side. For the last week and a half or so, I opened InDesign after not having used that software for maybe a couple of years. I was really rusty, and that's like an understatement. It took me a while to get the gist of it, and then adapting everything onto the Macros format. Yeah, it's been a process. I don't know. Let's see. I kind of forgot what the question was for a sec. I think it would vary sometime depending on if like just the first episode would come out or if I would be focusing on the second one after that to go through the whole layout. Maybe within a month. I don't know what the pipeline is after I send everything to you, Evan. If that's be more work done, but
yeah,
hopefully within the month, at least the first one.
That the real answer is we're still figuring it out together. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think sometime within the next month or two, I think we would be looking to launch it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really love the art and such a cool, fun series and style. And
Yeah.
That is neat.
Good quality, good action.
Yeah.
Very unique choice of artistic elements and representation of information.
Yeah. And talking about the coloring, I mean, I love going into this, this kind of zoomed in view where you can really see like the texture and like it's a combination of like, kind of paper texture, but then at some points you're kind of pulling in, different effects that add more kind of lighting, to it, or even kind of zipatone in certain places. It's such a cool way of kind of building these panels.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Evan, just a technical question as I'm looking through these.
Yeah.
There's a little like action safe line in all those panels. Is that based on different phone screen sizes?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So so all the templates are, one of the things we had to figure out was how to account for all the different device sizes in the world. So it's, there's a way of thinking about it that's kind of similar to print where you've got a safe zone and a bleed zone. And so that interior line is the safe zone essentially. So any critical visual information or text needs to be inside that area. But we also design all the screens, to the edges. And so essentially, anyone with an older phone, the smallest amount of screen they would ever see is that safe zone.
Yeah.
And then, somewhere between there and the edges is the rest of the devices on the planet. And so
cool.
The newest, the newer, bigger phones would see the entire, edge to edge of everything. And then, like a Samsung Galaxy, for example, is cropped in slightly on the edges. So it's a slightly taller form factor. Like an iPhone 4 would be the smallest version. So it's kind of thinking about the design of each screen, simultaneously for both, but more and more people are upgrading. And so over time, more and more people will see the bigger and bigger version of the screen. Yeah.
That's cool. Cool. Sorry, I didn't mean to turn it into a technical conversation. I just was curious.
No, It's a good point, actually. I don't know, Evan, can you switch? Because I actually, once again, being rusty on InDesign, I discovered this like maybe a few days ago that you can actually switch the preview mode from full bleed mode, which you're in, to actually the tighter one.
Yeah,
And
so that's
it's helped me like a lot when like compositing these, because it's like you're basically creating one file for two kind of preview windows, which is kind of be tricky at times, I guess.
Yeah, no, for sure. So yeah, you can up here in the view mode go to either bleed or preview. So preview crops into the safe zone. The way I tend to work on this stuff is I will have it in bleed, so I'm kind of designing. I can see the safe zone, and I'm designing for both. But then if you actually preview it within InDesign, you get the crop mode, and you can actually kind of tap through it and see how it's going to work on the app. That's that's my approach, but it's certainly whatever works.
Awesome. Those panels look amazing.
Yeah, really cool stuff.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen your work, Jason, but that I'm reading the tiny type on my screen. So that's Zach with an H, and there's Jessica and Fuzzy Comics as well. What do you guys do like on the app so I can look it up?
Well, let's see. Let me put everyone on screen first. So we have Fuzzy here. Let me get your
Chickens.
stuff. Here we go. This is all Fuzzy's information at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, so I'm not on the Macroverse app, but I've got some stuff. Hang on a second. Right now I've got a story up on Webtoons called Dead Air, and I'm working on the other story that I've got going on. Whoops. That I'm working on right now called Origami Princess and the Rain-Soaked Jazz Man.
Oh, that looks cool, by the way. I love the colors in that.
Thank you. Yeah, so a lot of fun. It's a sort of Twilight Zone style story about a kid with a interesting radio. Did I undersell myself?
I mean, you're just not giving it away, which is good. Got me interested.
You got to do the quote marks around interesting.
Exactly.
That makes it sound like I'm lying. It's a really boring radio.
Now I'm more interested.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else for me. You can move on.
Let's see. And then we got Zach here. Here's Zach's information at the bottom right now. Ready, set, go.
I'm Zach, and I'm working on a graphic novel called Golma, which apparently means rubber in Spanish.
Goma? Goma? Like Goma?
Yeah, no, it's Goma, but in Spanish, but it's Golma, and that was what they told me translated to rubber in Spanish was Goma, but it's Golma.
Oh yeah, Goma is rubber, but Golma is not, so you're good.
Okay, good. Okay, we're not the rubber shoe anymore. That's good.
Whew.
Whew. I was sitting there for a long time. I was like, it's an acronym for something I'm not going to say yet. So it does mean something, but rubber.
But rubber. Yeah.
So
Oh my goodness.
that's what I'm working on.
That's pretty cool. Is it kind of like a slummy post-apocalyptic?
Yeah. It's my thing is it's Lord of the Rings and Red versus Blue, and the world is if a post-apocalyptic sort of event like the flood happened. But instead of the world being wiped out and all that technology and all those advancements being totally wiped off the planet, that stuff survived, and what kind of civilization would be made from that. So
That's cool.
So that's what's going on in my book.
I dig that kind of a post-apocalyptic feel to it. Not just in general, like I like that kind of stuff, especially if it goes into like mixes. Let's call it nature. Like in this case, I guess you have like all the rocky, mountainous looking landscapes
Mhm.
with previous existing
And
civilizations.
there's no zombies. There's no zombies.
That's good. Dang it.
I thought about zombies and I was like, no zombies. I'll let.
That's for book 2.
Huh?
That's for book 2.
No. No zombies.
Spin-off?
No. No zombies.
No.
Enough
So
zombies.
bad.
Zombies. I grew up and literally everything was zombies. My high school career was just what's the next zombie thing. So now I'm like, I'm totally tired of zombies.
It does sometimes feel like it's been done to death.
Oh.
All right, I didn't actually mean to do that.
No
Fuzzy.
That hurt.
There's
Yes.
a
Joke.
Accidental dad joke.
there's a zombie musical out there. It's, I think it's British, I want to say. It's an actual movie. I forgot what it's called. But it's a musical, full-on musical singing, and it's about zombies and these like high school kids. It's ridiculous. It's kind of like the movie. Watch once, it's fun, but yeah, zombies.
Mm.
And then we got Jessica's screen right here, and her information's on the bottom there. You want to talk a little bit about yours, Jessica?
Sure. So I am working on a graphic novel. Well, actually, this is a 30-page introduction comic to the main character. And she is a space angel. So I have a little space factoid going on this page. But over here, her name is Stella. And it is her duty to take care of space and make sure it is maintained and in order. And so she's introducing herself in this comic and basically explaining what she does and some of the perks and challenges of being a space angel. And so I'm basically getting this little 30-page comic ready to go so I can start my graphic novel.
So it's like I guess like a preview, like a pilot sample episode of sorts. That's cool.
It is, a pilot of sorts, a little teaser trailer, you could say. I like pilot better. Giving me a chance to figure out the style I wanted to employ. Like Zach said earlier, that it's hard to sometimes when you change style midway through a project. That's basically what happened, but luckily it happened in a pilot comic.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I knew stuff like that would happen, so I figured that it's more containable and something smaller and manageable. But yeah, that's what I'm working on.
I feel like, you know what, even though everyone tries to avoid it, there's no shame in doing it. I feel like I've seen it happening so many times. I've seen it happening. Tintin is an awesome example. I was just reading Tintin, the whole series, like for the last few months. And from the first, like the comic strips he made all the way through the last one, his style changes significantly, but also how he writes and develops stories also change. And even Scott Pilgrim, like if you read all of the volumes of the series, you'll see how the initial drawings are rougher around the edges and perspective is extremely rough. And then after a while, he starts using pictures and actually using references, and it grows. And I mean, the overall style is the same, and you get the idea, but the character design sometimes change. I mean, I feel like it happens a lot of times. I mean, there's The Simpsons.
Totally.
So,
and it's kind of fun then to see, like, how people progress as they create something.
yeah, especially if you're working on something for so long, like something's bound to change.
Yep.
I think you're going to see that on basically any long series.
Yeah.
Like it was Calvin and Hobbes. Early drawings looked different. Actually, I can't think of an example where it looks the same at the beginning as it does at the end.
I remember Garfield is a huge example of that.
Oh yeah, Garfield's massive.
Yeah.
I was just revisiting Bone as well, and actually I heard a great interview with Jeff Smith where he's talking about actually the intention of knowing that it was going to be a multi-year project, and you can definitely see the evolution, but he very consciously made sure that his characters stayed on model, like from beginning to end. So it's like, especially the Bone characters, it's like it was important to him to make them feel consistent, even though his skill set got increased over those years.
Yeah, that's tricky, I think. I mean, unless you're at a level thing which like you're a certain master of your craft, and like your style can change a little bit, but if you're just starting off, and that happened to me with the first comic too, like I hadn't drawn in ages, and I started working on that first one, and as I was progressing through the pages, I was getting incrementally better from like very bad to like decent, so you can see that happening, and I was like, maybe like reach like some kind of plateau, not plateau, but like some level where like it won't be terrible and like start again.
Yeah, where it starts clicking.
Yeah.
I think you also have to be careful. Like, you're inevitably going to get better the more you practice.
Mm-hmm.
And if you keep saying like, "Oh, now it looks different. I have to go back."
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
You'll end up redrawing your entire career 50 times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Time where you gotta just be like, yep, it's good.
Well, not just that, but looking back and going, I have to accept that that's just the way that looks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I don't like it, I don't have time to worry about making that quote unquote right,
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you're moving forward with a project. Like, like what we said before, it's like there's no shame in seeing you progress through multiple books or multiple like episodes or whatever.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty cool. I love seeing that progression because it's like, you know what, even the best people have like started somewhere, and even before what you're seeing. So it's cool. I like it.
I think the only exception might be like the marketing. Like if you were to redo a cover, or like, I don't know, just something that they see that's out front. I'm trying to think. Like, I mean, a cover is a great example. You go back to the cover of a book, and you're like, well, you know what, Jason, you redid a cover, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Sithra 1 cover.
Yeah, but you didn't go back and redo the whole book. You just redid that cover.
Yeah.
Right, so like that's an example of like, well, I want to go back and fix that because that's like the most out in the front thing, and it needs to be changed. But like, I feel like I lost what I was saying.
I know what you're saying though. I feel like I've been in this pilot. I did decide to go back. It was near the end. I finally figured out like that's the style I want. So I did make a conscious decision of going back and changing, and that's why I've been doing a lot of revisions. Which I realize I'm like, okay, I'll allow it now, but I can't. I got to make some boundaries when I start my graphic novel. But that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this pilot.
Yeah. You have to draw the line at some point.
You gotta.
But that's good. It's like just you set yourself that boundary, like that you're allowed to explore, allowed to make mistakes.
Yeah.
But okay, now you have to actually start it.
Mm-hmm. I really love Jake Parker's. He has a video on Finished Not Perfect.
Not perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We all probably watched that one.
Yep.
If you haven't, go over to the channel. Watch it. It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
It'll change the way you work for good.
So how's everybody's Father's Day? Totally didn't even ask.
My Father's Day was great. Thanks for asking. Sorry, womp womp.
You have a Mother's Day. You already had it.
Ours was good. I
Not too exciting sounds like because no one is answering. So.
Sorry.
I didn't even realize it was Father's Day until it was. And then we went over to my parents to eat breakfast, and my dad didn't even realize it was Father's Day.
Well,
So
double
I was maybe
surprise
with my
there.
mom. It was funny. We were just all like, "What? Oh yeah, he's right."
Oh,
And my wife remembered, so that was nice.
thanks, Mike.
Someone did. Let's see.
I spent it with my family, which was cool. My parents, and I don't know. It was not all that interesting.
That was your first one, right? Your first Father's
No,
Day?
last year was my first one,
Oh,
but I
okay.
was so dead that I wouldn't have really it didn't register.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like I remember it sort of, but
Like
I
a
couldn't.
dream.
Yeah, I was like, everything's fine. I'll be fine. And then
I could do it.
my dad was like, I bought you a grill, and I was like, thank you.
Yeah.
That's about
What
it.
do I do with it? Oh yeah. I'm so tired.
Wow.
Yeah, no, but this year was great because I actually remember it. I've been working so hard on this comic that my parents were like, "Don't worry about it. We're not going to bother you. We just want to say hi and hang out with our grandson."
Oh,
And that was
Uh,
really about it.
uh,
We had dinner and lunch and all that. Oh, you know what? We went swimming together. That happened.
like with your parents?
Yeah.
That's nice.
So if I get the sickness, you all know
Oh,
where it came from.
I guess
Oh,
that's not nice. Forgot about that part.
Chlorine kills that.
How could I forget?
It was a saltwater pool.
Salt water kills
Yeah.
that. Oh,
I didn't know until after we went swimming. I was like, oh, I was like, well, I'm already in here and it's in my mouth, so if I've got it, I've got it.
It's in my
in
mouth.
my mouth. Yeah.
Like, there's not really anything I can do at this point.
I hear that it's less of like, stomach acid kills stuff, right? Yeah.
Sure.
Let's just say that. Sure.
I mean,
We'll just say that.
I'm gonna die, you guys.
Well, it's okay because you made it to the last stream. So
I better finish that graphic novel for you. Oh, well, your webcomic for you too.
I mean, I'm trying. I've thought about that. Like, what happens if I'm not done with a story and I just up and die? You know? You guys ever think about that? It's a little morbid. I don't know if we should talk about that. I regret bringing it up.
No, I think it's fine.
It's okay.
I thought about that with before I started Cithra, because Cithra was going to be so long and Remind took so much out of me that I was like, I don't know if I'll make it.
Coming hedgehog.
Will it be valuable if I don't actually complete it before I die?
I've got a hedgehog.
Oh my god.
Oh, you really do have a hedgehog.
Yeah, for real. You thought I
Yo,
was
full
joking.
screen, full screen.
You thought I was joking.
So cute.
Wow, so cute.
Has it ever bothered anyone that Sonic looks nothing like a hedgehog?
No.
So
See, look.
They took a lot of artistic liberties.
Like
Oh,
I wish Sonic looked like that.
That's so freaking cute.
do they come in dozens? Because I'll take a dozen.
No.
They would just open any curtain. 1 dozen. Easy. Yes.
What's it like? Well, like what's their temperament like and stuff?
They're
Like,
the
I'm
most.
rabbit, so I don't know. I'm trying to compare.
They are the most lazy, easy to take care of creatures ever. It's like having a fish that's a lot cuter. Because literally they
You can't
sleep
pet a
like
fish.
90% of the time. They sleep.
The way you said that, I always thought you were like, what's it like being on the top?
Yeah.
Being on the top of the world.
But is that just when they're babies?
No,
Is that
they're
also
just
when they're old?
well. That's how they survive apparently out in nature. Is that they what they do is
Sleep.
they go they sleep because they burrow.
Yeah.
And they're really spiky. They got a lot of quill
Yeah.
things, and they're actually pretty sharp.
So you can't pet it.
Oh, you can. There's on the
Don't
side.
go the wrong direction.
Yeah, you can pet their quills in the right direction if they like you, because they it's kind of crazy. Is that they'll do the same kind of porcupine thing where they can like control
Damn.
where they spike you. So if you come from behind, they'll smack you really hard with their spikes in just one space. Like one little section will pop up and they'll smack you with it. Like it's really crazy that they have that kind of control. But no, like if you pet them on the sides, like near, like kind of where my sideburns are and stuff, you can pet them there, and they really like it. And then they'll roll over for you, and you can pet their belly, and then they'll roll.
Oh,
There's
okay, I'm sold. Where do I get one?
I don't know, you gotta look it up. I didn't even know they had them in Texas. I was like, where'd you get a hedgehog in Texas?
You guys got armadillos down there?
Yeah, we actually do. So
Those things are not as clean.
I remember I was driving somewhere down south, and we just saw a ton of them like dead on the side of the road.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. I'm glad I could brighten everybody's day with my awful.
Back to death.
back to hedgehog.
I'm gonna be honest. I actually have been thinking about death a lot lately. I'm not doing it on purpose. It just keeps coming up.
I think you keep bringing it up.
No, I know. I'm saying like it's been on my mind, so it keeps coming out of my. Just ignore me. Just tell me to shut up. No.
Your face hole keeps reinterpreting it.
Yeah.
Well, I do. I think there is there's a healthy version of that, which is definitely more and more present for me as I get older, which is just being aware that there's more time behind than potentially ahead, and so there's a clarifying element to that of like where does time go and where does focus go, and
Yeah. It's real comforting. Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome.
It's definitely nothing I've been obsessing over. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah. The healthy version of that.
Yeah, I was about to say thank you. I mean, you could always get hit by a car when you step outside, but you know.
Yeah.
You guys, you gotta stop. This is genuinely like it's weird because due to a tragedy when I was younger, I won't talk about it, but I've known about death for a long time, and I've like just faced that idea of like the finality of it all. But I don't know why, like recently, it's just become scary.
Because the world's on fire.
That's because I have a son.
Yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
like-
the world's on fire.
Well, I don't care about all that. The world's been on fire for a long time. But like he made everything scarier, like.
It's like having that like new strong attachment that means the world to you. That, you know what? It's weird sometimes. Like when I'm about to get morbid again. When I think about death and whatnot, it's not so much the pain of dying, but people that I love suffering about it. That
Yes.
hurts me the most. So I think what you mean is like, yeah, if you were to pass, what about your kid?
Yeah.
Exactly. Death never used to matter to me. I was like, whatever. If I die, I die. Who cares?
Yeah.
And then he came around, and I was like, and I love my wife, but if I died, she'd be fine. Like I, not that I would. She'd be like, she wouldn't be sad. I guess I kind of hope she'd be sad, but like. No,
Just thought about your wife being like, oh yeah, he died, but he died.
Moving on.
People die.
I never needed him anyway.
I don't know. I don't want her to be sad, but also like I kind of hope she likes me enough now that she would be. But but if my kid dies, or if I die, excuse me, then my kid,
Oh my
like,
Well, that's a whole different thing.
well, no, my kid dies. Of course, that's miserable. But like, if I die, my kid's like, I don't know. Everything is that much more difficult for them, and
Yeah.
and now it's hard to sleep. So there you go. You're all up to date.
Hey, guess what?
Thank you for that.
Like, I'm pretty sure every father feels that. I felt that
Yeah.
really, really, really strongly for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And Jason, I'm pretty sure you have too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
It
Evan.
makes you start thinking, oh, I need to get like life insurance and
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
disability insurance, all that stuff. You know, like I got all that after having kids. So I'm like, this would be horrible to leave people
Yeah.
with my junk and my drama, and have to, move on and pay for things that I've, gotten in debt for or whatever it is.
My wife made us get life insurance, like right after we got married. So, like I said before, if I die, my wife will be fine.
I told my wife I can't get too high of life insurance because I want to still ensure that I'll stay alive. I don't want to give her a reason to,
Like it would give you an excuse.
We get in arguments sometimes. And so there is a different kind of life insurance going on there.
That's wife insurance.
Bro, are you worried she's gonna kill you?
Well, yeah.
I mean, come on, if everyone has a price.
What in the world?
Yeah, I guess
Holy
if you keep
dude.
the price low, then it's fine.
I'll just leave it at that.
You've never had that before?
This will be the
I
last
guess
stream for a while. Guys.
I guess I just haven't been married long enough.
Wow.
Jason, I don't think it's as funny as they do. I've had that thought before.
You guys.
Well,
There's a hint of,
I guess in a best-
anyway, moving on.
I will say that because of our insurance policies, we've had the conversation of what it would be like if we died, like
Yeah.
if one of us died, and I was like, because the conversation starts from a nice place. It's like, oh, if you died, I don't know what I would do, and then I was like,
Mm-hmm.
well, I get the insurance payout, and I was like, I'd probably be able to finish my comic.
Oh my god.
There you go. You're at the start of the thought process.
But the funny thing is, she went, yeah, and I'd probably be able to get into some museums, get some work done.
Oh my god.
So we've both, at least it's not only one of us saying that. Like the two of us are like,
Oh
actually,
gosh. Now we know, though. This stream is evidence.
race.
This stream is official record evidence.
That would be a great movie. Like a couple that gets amazing life insurance for each other, and it becomes they're both planning the other person's death, and they don't know it.
So they can have a better life.
Great movie. You guys gave me an
I
idea.
think that'd be like, I think it'd be interesting because there's a couple ways you could do that, right? That could be like a movie that spans years, or it could be like a single night.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like they start with that conversation, and then they just look at each other, and then they run to find whatever thing they can to kill the other person.
It's Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
I was about to
Yeah, that's right.
Is that? But that's different. That's
No,
spies.
that's totally different. But
There's a lot less context, and then everything changes if these two have kids, right?
Oh, that'd be no.
'Cause,
they
like,
have the pregnant. Yeah.
You can more easily root for them if they're not parents.
Mhm.
that's
You're
the,
like-
the third act is, oh God, I'm pregnant. And
Yeah.
then you work it out.
Oh, there we go. We wrote the movie, you guys.
That's good. I think there's a perfect log line in there too.
Yeah.
Studios will be lining up for that thing. That's an easy sell.
You know what I've found out about myself recently is that I can do really terrible movies, like those scripts. I mean, I was like, hey, I could do this, and then I went, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's all garbage, poopy stuff, you know? Like,
garbage poopy.
Garbage poopy.
There should be a new genre.
Not just garbage.
Yeah, that's technical terms.
Hmm.
Garbage poopy.
Well, it is.
I think that's searchable on Netflix.
Garbage movie.
Doing it. Let's see what we get.
So I was watching a show, and and in it, there's a part where a writer is talking to a magician, and he tells her that there's a spell, which basically what it does is it creates a completely plot, a story without any plot holes in it, and it'll self-write. And one of the lines that the magician uses is, I think Netflix uses that.
Wait, say the setup of the joke again? I'm sorry. I was searching for garbage poopy on Netflix, so I got distracted.
Hey, wait. John Lindau just came up with the show idea. Deductible.
That is so
That's good. That's really
Oh my
good.
gosh.
What a
John,
great
John,
freaking
can we write
title.
that?
Good job, dude.
No.
Can we write that, John? At least just a little treatment and try to sell that thing?
Deductible.
Good. Oh, boy.
Evan, you're out in Hollywood, right?
Yep.
Do it.
Dude, get somebody on the horn, man. Let's do
John's
this.
John's a screenwriter, right? Who gave us that nice title.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Ding.
Look, here's the thing. We do this. We all write it. We all take the cut, right? We get, a little something in our pockets, and then we can do our own thing.
You guys
Yeah.
can have it. I'm a terrible writer. I have nothing to contribute.
Oh, I thought you were just ashamed. You're like, no.
No. I love the premise and the idea and everything about it. I'm not a good. I could read it for you and let you know what I think, but
You can read it out loud.
I can read it out loud, but I'm not a writer, so.
Okay.
I wash my hands of this.
No, I love it. I'm just no. It has nothing to do with it. It's just I feel like I wouldn't contribute anything important, so I don't feel like I should get money for something.
We get it. We get it. We understand.
What?
I'm ready.
What do you guys complain about? You guys get a bigger cut.
No, I'm ready. I'm ready to write this thing.
I'm about to say. Jeez.
I hired a ghostwriter once. I can do it again.
Oh, okay. Is that how they do it nowadays?
I guess. Did it once.
I heard there's a spell for that.
Wait, what?
There's a what?
You hired a ghostwriter?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting text from someone.
That's for his uncredited, fan fiction career.
Fan fiction.
Does it count as a ghostwriter if you're admitting to it, or I guess you haven't identified where it?
Sorry, hold on, guys.
which thing?
I can't contribute to this conversation. I got to put you on mute for 1 second.
Oh boy.
See, the ghostwriter comes up, things get touchy.
I know, right?
Because I'm getting texts. I'm
Oh no, yeah. Excuses. That's good.
Yeah, getting texts. Yeah, it's good.
I don't. So I got this new dumb phone, and
And changing.
it doesn't get pictures. And so someone just sent me a text, but it's a local number, and it says "Come please" with a smiley face, and then there's a picture, but I don't know what the picture is. So I'm like,
Jeez, how old is it that you can't get?
it's
images?
it's not old. It's just one of those phones where I only call and text. I can get emojis though.
Wow.
It's nice because then I don't have to worry about everything else. Hold on 1 second.
So
I'm trying to.
just to keep everyone updated, I typed garbage poopy into Netflix and nothing came up. I deleted poopy, and there is a movie called Garbage, but then the rest of it is stuff that doesn't apply to garbage, and I'm
But
wondering
is it garbage though?
what?
But is it garbage?
Some of it. I mean, Last Airbender came up.
Undisputed.
Undisputed.
Yeah,
But-
cool.
I'm confused because Into the Spider-Verse came up too.
Oh no, that's not right.
Nah.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm a little confused. The
Yeah,
new
I'll
Grinch
let-
came up.
There's a new
oh, garbage.
Oh yeah, it's by Illumination, and it's
Oh, that one. Okay, I've not seen
the one with
Benedict pajama pants.
Benedict
it. What are you?
Cumberbund, whatever his name is.
You want to try again?
Benedict Cumberbund. Benedict Cumberbatch.
Take 2. We'll give you a second chance.
No, I think that was good. I like that take. I'll keep it.
Uh,
Mhm.
I have
I'm
to
hearing crickets in the background. Is there crickets in someone's room or
Hmm.
far? Maybe it's just my voices in my head.
I hear something.
It sounds like crickets, which is kind of appropriate at the moment.
So Jason's on his phone. Zach is gone.
I didn't even notice he'd left.
Exactly. Oh, this is going splendid.
I'm having just looking at a screen. It kind of reminds me of that. Gosh, is it Michelangelo? I'm sorry if where God and Adam are like touching fingers. Kinda
Yeah.
just a glimpse. A
Is
fleeting
that
moment.
who is that? Who are the characters? I mean, in that painting, can never remember. It's God and somebody, but I can't remember who the other guy is.
Oh, it's Adam, right?
You sure?
Like God making Adam, the famous painting by
Yeah,
Michelangelo.
touching fingers. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking about Zach's stuff on my.
Oh no, I have no idea. I haven't read Zach's
There.
thing, so I wouldn't know.
Let's
I'm back. I figured out who it was.
It's your dad.
Was it
No.
spam?
No, it was a friend sending me like an invitation to a party thing,
Oh, phew.
like a little kid's birthday party thing.
Aw.
Oh, I believe that's what I think.
Hmm.
But you're
I
not-
still haven't seen the pictures though, but I know who it is. Okay. Back to work.
Yeah. So Jason, you were telling us about your ghostwriter.
I've used a couple before. So for Unnatural Talent, my how-to book, I put all that stuff together, and then I just couldn't figure out how to like finish it and put the finishing touches on it, and time was an issue. And so a fan online emailed me and said, "Hey, I do ghostwriting work on the side and write my own books and all this stuff. I would love to help ghostwrite this and finish it up just so that it can be done, you know?" And I was like, "What's a ghostwriter?" Okay. And so I gave him all the files, and he just went through it and edited it and kind of put pieces together and filled in the gaps where there was like a paragraph that needed to bridge the gap between one chapter to another, and that's how that book actually got finished. Was a ghostwriter helping me to kind of finish it off. Like I had all the bones, I had all the vital pieces, but he just had to put it together and kind of stretch the skin over it and make it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So that was my first experience with it, and it made me realize it existed. And so I've worked with them a couple times, and then I've also tried hiring someone to help me write something else, which I've never released, but just to kind of get an idea out of my mind that I felt like was only doable as a short novel, and so it's still kind of in the works. I still need to to tweak it and stuff. But it's really helpful because someone just they know all the grammar, they know how to word things. There's really sucky ghostwriters too, so you just I've tried some that are just like horrible, and you're like, why don't I just do this myself? It would be just as horrible, And then there's people that are really like wonderful with writing, and they can just just spill out beautiful gold with their words. And I'm like, I love it. I love how you did that. So anyway, it's an art form of its own,
Mhm.
And it's kind of weird because no one talks about it because it's a ghostwriter. You're uncredited.
It's so hush hush.
Yeah. So, but it's a thing. It's a big deal. Apparently a lot of people do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have very little experience with it, but it is pretty neat. It opened my eyes, to say the least. Like if I had a lot of money, I would hire a lot of ghostwriters to write different things. I would give them the bare bones of a story and have it written, and then I would come at it for the second pass and do it refine it the way I want it to be. But it would have been based on the structure that I gave them. They would have done all the first draft hard work, and then I would have finished it. So that's kind of it.
You would develop a story making machine, basically.
Yeah.
Just kind of cool. So I guess as I'm sure everyone here knows, it's like, oh yeah, you can get a lot of cool ideas for different projects at the same time, but you definitely can't do them all at the same time.
Yeah. And studios and directors and producers do it all the time. They hire screenwriters to work on this idea and someone else to work on this idea, and it's just common. So it's just a world that I never was a part of before. So it kind of took a little while to learn about it, even though I've seen it. I just didn't realize what it was, I guess. But then again, like the studio hires a screenwriter, they're not a ghostwriter. They're actually getting credited for it. So that's different.
It's like such a foreign concept. I don't know if I could do it unless there's something that I really wanted to get done and I didn't have time to do it myself. But
Yeah.
part of the reason why I like making is the joy of actually creating. So I feel like, but I want to make that. I don't want you to make it. But then again, it takes so long to make stuff too that sometimes you're like, I want the story to get out here, but I really need some help just getting it out.
Yeah.
It's definitely a case by case situation. I mean, it's not the same, but it's kind of like when you're working on something and you have someone else do inks, or someone else do colors, or someone else do lettering.
Yep.
Or even just flats. I think it's whatever helps to get things out there faster in some cases.
Mhm. Oh, oops. That's great.
Is anyone here in Southern California aside from Evan?
Not me.
Evan, you're in the state, right?
I'm in LA. Yeah.
Did you feel the earthquake a few hours ago?
Oh no.
Someone told me about it, that it was intense, but I was like, I didn't feel anything. So.
Yeah, no, I didn't feel it at all. There have been a bunch of little ones that we haven't felt, but I'm also kind of in the hills, so we don't. I think we're a little more insulated from some of that.
Oh, earthquakes.
But the way 2020 is going,
Oh my god, it's It's gonna be the cherry on top of the sundae, I swear.
I guess it missed us, but a couple of weeks ago there was a giant meteor headed towards Earth, so seems about right.
Really?
Yeah.
My story.
The universe is just messing with us at this point.
Yeah, exactly. They've discovered a parallel universe. There's a giant meteor.
They discovered a what?
Yeah, there was some story that came out a week ago or so, where they've apparently been able to I guess it's all theoretical physics, but they've been able to see some sort of evidence in the lab of parallel universes.
I love theoretical physics.
And then they acknowledge the existence of UFOs, but it's all just happening.
2020.
Yeah.
A parallel universe where time flows backwards?
Yes, that's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There it is.
Isn't that what that new movie is, like Tenant or something about?
Yeah, I don't know, but it looks awesome to me.
It does look cool.
To be clear, there is zero evidence of a parallel universe right next to ours where all the rules of physics seem to be operating in reverse. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but this felt like too big of news for me to not look it up right now. So,
yeah,
So they just discovered this, but like some bands
they discovered something.
paper.
They discovered
like
something
a study.
completely different, and the newspapers were like, "I think I understand what they're saying."
Well, I'm sure it's very much akin to like being able to see in a particle accelerator that one particle is in two places at the same time or whatever.
Superposition.
Yeah.
The scientists found evidence, signals, in quotes, of fundamental particles that may defy our current understanding of physics. And it might even be an issue. It might even just be an issue with how particles interact with ice, specifically.
Little did we know, ice is the key to time travel.
Haha,
Nice.
baby.
YouTube doesn't like when you type in black holes.
Why?
Don't know. But Tobias typed in black holes, and it was like, you sure you want to put that on there?
Wow.
Way to go, YouTube.
YouTube doesn't like anything.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube is-
It hates humans. It is a robot. Makes sense now.
One of the scientists like, the events that we tracked are definitely interesting, but we're a long ways away from even claiming that there's any new physics, let alone an entire universe. Like, basically what he's saying is like, we're not even sure if this is weird. Like, what we saw could be completely normal. We have no, or could completely fit with what we understand. We have no idea.
So the news is at it again, trying to blow up something.
Yeah. Yep.
Exactly. We need something else to report on.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Or maybe more accurately, I don't understand what this is saying, but I don't want to miss out on being the one to break this if it does mean what I think it means.
Mm-hmm.
More likely.
Do you guys know about that guy who purposefully made up that chocolate helps you lose weight? And he made a bunch of fake health journals just to see if the media would start publishing it, and they did, and it became that whole entire thing like 5 or 6 years ago.
I had no idea.
That's. I mean, I don't know. It's not really surprising. It's just kind of sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was just doing an experiment on what the media will use as a proof of concept for experts. So he made like 2 or 3 fake medical journals sites that said just things like the health and assurance of America or something like that. Things really, really, really just
Generic.
yeah, generic. and he made these things up, and then he put a bunch of different health things that weren't true just to see if people would believe it. And because it said like, you know, the health insurance of America or whatever, people started believing it, and then it started getting traction. And I think even one of for the chocolate one specifically even went on like Dr. Oz,
Whoa.
you know? So it's just like,
Yeah, but he's definitely a hack, right? Like we all
yeah,
know
no,
that.
yeah. But I'm just saying, like, you know, just to show
Mhm.
how much, you know, people will just believe into a concept because they think an expert has, you know, says it's true.
Or that they want to believe it's true.
Yeah, they really want to. I mean,
Yeah.
chocolate. It's chocolate. Of course, you want to believe that chocolate's
wanna.
good. Chocolate's good for you.
It does that.
I remember my mom coming to me and being like, "We figured out chocolate's good for you," and stuff, and I was like, "No, it's not."
Well, there are certain properties.
Yeah, yeah,
sugar in
yeah.
it.
But like they're talking about like Hershey's,
But not buying
all the
Hershey.
sugar.
You can't buy
All the
it.
sugar.
But Zach, we all know that chocolate cures cancer,
Yeah, apparently,
apparently,
apparently.
and every other illness.
Yeah.
Just like every other food, there's you know, moderation and
Mhm.
like the proper preparation and ingredients. Like if you're eating, you know, chocolate versus cocoa, right?
Mhm.
Like if it's dark chocolate, there's less sugars and
Mm-hmm.
I know that coffee whitens my teeth. That's
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
There we go.
Science.
what the heck are you talking about? What?
He's just employing the parallel universe for his
Yep.
teeth.
Yep,
You know, it's the
parallel
opposite.
Yeah.
Oh man, I mean that's
yeah. I'm streaming from that other universe right now. Amazing we can
Virgin
actually.
opposite.
We're going forwards and backwards.
The only thing that amplifies that effect is cigarettes.
Absolutely.
Oh boy.
Publish a study on that.
Yeah. Okay, guys, we got less than 10 minutes left of this stream, so let's all go around and say who we are, where you can find our stuff. And we'll start with you, Zach, since you're on the screen.
Yeah, no, my name's Zach, and I make comics with Jason now, and he's no more, so now I'm sad.
my career's done.
I will officially be resigning after this page. Nah, you can find me. You can find me on Twitter at Zach_DB, and you can find my Instagram at Zach Illustration or something. And all that information should be at the bottom of the screen.
There. I was actually putting Jessica's on, but now it's
Okay,
here.
well, I'm Jessica.
Uh,
And I'm Zach.
Yeah.
Nice to meet
Nice to meet you.
fellow universe.
So yeah, that's and Golma is still on Indiegogo, but I'm going to be taking it off in a couple of days because it's time to print it. So
Nice.
Awesome.
For those pages as soon as you can and print your own copy.
mhm.
And then we got Jessica right here with her
So-
information at the bottom.
So I'm Jessica Vanderpool, and you can access my art at jessicavanderpool.com or at vanderjess10 on Instagram. And so I'm making my graphic novel. I'm calling it Interstella right now, and it's pre-published, but you'll
So
start
awesome.
seeing some updates. So go check it out.
Well, that's great, man. You got that hand drawn quickly. That looks really nice. It's
I'm
colored and everything.
Nice.
How'd you do that? Wasn't that just a sketch when you started?
Yeah.
Nice. You're moving quicker, and you're moving a lot quicker than the first streams that we were on.
Like riding a bicycle, I guess.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Yay.
All right, and then we got Fuzzy. Let me get
It's
you-
me. I am alive. All right. Yo, my name is Fuzzy. I am a comic book artist, and I do drawings and stories and stuff. You should read my things, please. No, I've got a bunch of stuff. I've got a couple of things out right now. I've got Dead Air and Origami Princess, and they're both on Webtoons right now. So go and check them out, and like them, and subscribe to them, and tell me how much you love them or hate them. Either way, really, I don't care.
But he prefers it if you say you like it.
Well, I mean, I prefer likes, like good comments, like where it makes me feel good. But I also like, constructive criticism.
Okay, you're asking for constructive criticism. Everyone pile on.
Yeah, do it. No, I want to get better. So
You go.
see stuff that you don't like. Tell me.
All right, and then we got iDrop.
Hello. So how do I share screen here? Here, I'll just share something good.
Yeah, if you can share something, I'll throw it on. Usually at the bottom there, the share screen, and we'll go to Eben first, real quick. All right, we got Eben.
Into the void. So Eben Matthews, we are making the Macroverse comics platform. Right now through the end of June, all of Remind, Eisner-nominated Remind, is up there. First season is all complete now, so that brings us through the first book, essentially. And all that is free to read through the end of June, and then we'll be launching season 2 right thereafter. So all that's up there right now. There's a ton of other awesome stuff up there right now as we go about the business of reinventing what we think the future of comics are. I'll also take a rare opportunity. We love everything that's on here, but I'm going to actually plug my own series for 1 second here. So we also write and have created and wrote this series called Dead Town, talking about zombies. So this basically the concept for Dead Town is it's a kind of neo-noir post-apocalyptic. There are zombies involved, but it's not about the zombies. The concept for the world is that we've kind of gotten to a point where things are equalized, and it's just the world as it is. So it's how do people live in a world where this is just what it is. This is the way that it is, and how do you survive in it without having it be the focus of the story. It's really about the characters and what they're doing beyond that. So a lot of fun writing this. The first season of Dead Town is currently up for free as well, so definitely check that out. But I would encourage everyone, if you haven't been on the app, you can download it on iOS or Android. Check out Remind, check out Dead Town, check out the other stuff that's on there. You can get a free week subscription and kind of read as much as you want. And then we hope you'll stick around because we've got a ton of awesome stuff coming over the rest of the year. So for the cost of 1 comic a month, there's a ton of stuff on here. It supports all the creators. It supports this kind of vision for the future of comics. And there's a lot more to come. So
awesome.
iOS, Android, Macroverse.
Yeah. And then we got iDrop. There's your screen.
Yeah, so I guess you can find me. You can find me on Instagram mainly under iDrip, and I'm excited to get this project out. I've been working on it for it's been like 1.5 years already since it started, so it should be fun. I think there's a lot of cool stuff going on, and it's been a fun process. Excited to get it on the app and out there for anyone to read.
Awesome. And you said your Instagram is just that iDrip?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes,
I've been saying it right the whole time. iDrip. Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on the show, man. It was good talking to you and hanging out a little bit.
Meeting all you guys.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
Awesome. And then we got me. I'm still working on Phobos. I'm trying to get the finishing touches on a couple pages so I can give it to my patrons. If you want to read this before it goes to Kickstarter or wherever it goes, become a patron and you'll be able to have access, or even becoming a member on YouTube gives you access to it as well. Well, this is kind of the last stream for a while. I'm probably going to do more streams when I actually launch the Phobos campaign, because I like doing it while I have a campaign going to take my mind off the campaign. Yeah, so it's kind of sad, but gonna wrap things up. So anyway,
There will be more.
There will be more, yeah. But anyway, I'd love it if you guys continued it too. Continue streaming somewhere and invite me, and then I can come on your streams. So
Excellent.
that'd be sweet.
I will probably have something to say about that in the relative near future. So we'll all coordinate. Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Real deal.
Anything else you guys want to say before we close this thing down?
I love you all.
Don't get COVID.
Question. I have a question. Would you guys even be interested in streaming if it was like a closed group type thing instead of public facing on YouTube?
Absolutely.
Oh,
that-
absolutely, yeah.
Is that interesting? Even though
You're just talking like a Google Hangout or something, like
yeah, something like that. Just more like private type stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Heck yeah.
Everyone's happy. Okay.
Session.
Because this is like there's multiple reasons for doing this stream. Half of it's to hang out and talk while you're working, but the other half is promotion and marketing and all that stuff. But I'm switching gears with my marketing, but I'd still like to be able to hang out. So,
Yeah. So less marketing pressure for sure.
yeah, exactly. Then we can actually talk about things that we want to talk about too, without YouTube going, no, stop.
More garbage groupie.
Yeah, they'll
That
still
would
shut
be
us down.
cool.
Well, cool. Well, yeah, you
Oh,
probably.
sorry, I want to give one last shout out just for since we are wrapping up. Anyone that loves comics that hasn't come across this, I cannot recommend it enough. So there's another YouTube channel called Cartoonist Kayfabe, and it's Jim Rugg and Ed Piskor, and they are getting unbelievable interviews. Like, I mean, everyone from Coop to Kevin Eastman to Robert Kirkman, David Cho, Rob Liefeld. I mean, it is like the deepest dive into the history of comics, and especially the kind of 90s indie scene and like everything, kind of organized around that. It's fantastic, and it's kind of a real history lesson. I just listened to their interview with Steve Bissett. It's fantastic. So if you love comics and you love the kind of history of comics, and especially 90s comics and kind of that era, it's spectacular. So
Yeah. Okay. Let me copy that and put it into the comments real quick. That was the link you put in the private chat, right?
yeah, exactly.
What's the show called again?
It's called Cartoonist Kayfabe.
Cartoonist. I'm just gonna.
It's also available as a podcast, but it's a celebration of comics, and it's really, really fantastic.
Okay. I didn't know how to pronounce that last part, so I just put it a line. Cartoonist something.
Kayfabe.
All right, guys. So you can go check that out. That sounds like a great podcast show.
Yeah, it's really good.
Nice. All right. Well, I'll be talking to you guys. You guys, please join me on Patreon. I'm gonna be talking about my new strategy on Patreon only, I think. And so, if you're curious about what I'm thinking and what I'm doing, jump on over to my Patreon. And that's all I got for you. Thanks for hanging out, everyone in the chat. Thanks for becoming members on YouTube. Thanks for my guests in the stream over the last couple months. And I'll see you guys all when we start this thing up again.
Sounds good.
Stay safe, folks. We're in that.